Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to lesson 3-5, multiply 3-digit by 2-digit numbers. Please write down the lesson title and our I can statement. I can multiply 3-digit by 2-digit numbers by adding partial products or by using the standard algorithm. Remember to pause at any time if you need a little more time to write down the title and the I can statement. There are no vocabulary terms for this problem. We're going to go ahead and look at our problem. A local charity collected 163 cans of food each day for 14 days. How many cans did they collect in all? Explain how you found your answer. Well, as always, we want to use cues to help us understand the problem. So we want to go through and circle the important numbers. So 163 and 14 are important. We need to underline the question, how many cans did they collect in all? We need to box important words. So how many in all are important. Our E is for evaluate and visualize. So when I do that, I always kind of put myself in the problem. If I was collecting donations for a local charity and I collected 163 cans of food every day for 14 days, I would need to figure out how many cans I collected altogether. And then we need to solve. So you can go ahead and pause the video, solve it using whatever strategy works best for you to multiply 3-digit by 2-digit numbers, and then press play and I will show you how I solved it and then a few other examples of strategies. All right, well, let's take a look at our problem. I am going to solve it using the standard algorithm strategy. That's the way that is most comfortable for me, and I can consistently and effectively get the accurate answer. So as I line this up, I'm going to put 163 right here, and I'm going to multiply that times 14. I will multiply 3 times 4, which is 12. Bring my 1 up. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 more is 25. 2 up here. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. Now I'm going to multiply 163 by the 1 in the tens column right here. So I'm going to draw a little line there so I can keep everything lined up. 3 times 1 is 3. I already took care of that. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And now I will add 2, 8, 12. Bring that 1 up. So the answer to this problem is 2,282 cans of food collected over those 14 days. Now again, as in lesson 3-4, some students in my classroom and in 5th grade have talked about using the lattice method, so I will show you that as well. It is another strategy, another way to multiply this problem. So we will line this up as 163. I'll put 14 over here to the side, and we will draw our little lattice box. And there'll be a column for each number. And then I draw my diagonal lines to kind of represent my different place values. Now again, this is not going to be the strategy for everybody, but for a few of you who used the strategy last year, it can be an effective way to solve multiplication as well. Most of you are probably going to connect with the standard algorithm, but we'd like to show you multiple ways because a few students will have different strategies that make the most sense to them. So I will multiply 3 times 1 is 3. 3 and 4 multiplied together will be 12. Then I'll multiply the 6 and 1, which will be 6. The 6 and 4 multiplied will be 24. 1 times 1 is 1. And then 1 times 4 is 4. And then we add these up. This is basically our ones place right here. So put a 2. In our tens place, 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. This is our hundredths column. So 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. I'm going to regroup and bring that 1 up here. 1 plus 1 is 2. And we get the same answer, just using a little bit different strategy. So the answer again is 2,282 cans of food. Okay, let's look at our next possible strategy that you used. For this strategy, this is Jared's work, and he used an area model that gave him partial products. So the way this works is the 163 is broken down to 160 and 3. That's where those numbers come from. And then our 14 is broken down to 4 and 10. And there's some similarities to the lattice model. They multiply 4 times 100 gave them 400, 4 times 60 gave them 240, 4 times 3 gave them 12. They added up those partial products, they got 652. Then they multiplied 10 times 100, which gave them 1,000, 10 times 60, which gave them 600, and then 10 times 3, which gave them 30. And they added all of those partial products up, they got 1,630. When they added those two together, they got 2,282 cans in all, which is what we got with the standard algorithm and the lattice method. This is Aisha's work. And for Aisha, she multiplied 14 times 3, 14 times 60, and 14 times 100. Where she got these numbers was from our 163. So she got partial products, she added those together, and when she did, she also got 2,282 cans. In your math journals, please write a summary of how you solved the problem, explaining the steps of the strategy that you wrote down. Remember, this shouldn't just be a one-sentence answer. It should be something where someone would be able to read it and then really understand and follow the steps of the strategy that you used. Please be ready to share your problem-solving method in class tomorrow. Thank you, and we'll see you in class then.